Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to this workshop on time management, a skill that is essential in both our personal and professional lives. In today's fast-paced world, demands on our time seems endless. Mastering the art of managing time effectively can make a difference between feeling overwhelmed and achieving our goals. Strong time management skills opens doors to great success. Employers, clients, and colleagues respect those who are reliable, meet deadlines, and stay organized. These skills can set us apart and create opportunities for our career and personal growth. Our to-do list seems to grow longer by the day, and time feels like it's slipping away. Effective time management is just not about getting more work done, it is also getting work done in a smarter way. Today, we are privileged to have Dr. Jagdeep Singh Sir and Dr. Syalini, coordinators of this event. We welcome you, teachers. Also, we are privileged to have our esteemed faculty members, Professor Vipul Kumar Sir and Professor Vijay Kumar Sir. We welcome you, teachers. And now, we have Dr. Mallikarjuna K, who is an accomplished professional with an M.Tech in computer science and over 25 years of experience in training and development. He has been awarded an honorable doctorate in leadership, life skills, and yoga training. Specializing in personality development, he has dedicated the past 15 years to work as a personality development trainer for the National Skill Training Institute (NSTI) and Deccan Herald, a leading English daily newspaper. He also runs Diginet Online India Private Limited, a company focused on software development, computer training, and personality development. His expertise spans over various domains including soft skills leadership and team building. Mallikarjuna Sir has successfully managed training programs, numerous corporate and educational institutions, consistently achieving program objectives in contributing to the personal and professional growth of his trainees. We welcome you, sir. And finally, our dear Giantians who have come here to listen and learn. We welcome you all. I would now like to request Dr. Mallikarjuna Sir to take over the stage.
So these chairs can be removed?
Yeah, sure. Can you remove one chair?
You can play that video. I have time. Guys, happy morning! With this enthusiasm, you can't really pull or bring angels down. Only demons will come or devils will come. Happy morning!
Happy morning, sir.
Okay, let me see how happy you would be by the end of the session. I have a challenge now. I have a time management stress now, because within that 1.5 to 2 hours of capsule, I'll have to deliver something which you feel, yes, whatever that was given to me was satisfied, I can make a difference. Let us understand the value of time. Whether it is a chai wala over the years who becomes the Prime Minister, whether it is a tribal woman who lives deep in the forest as a tribal woman and who becomes the present president, that is Draupadi Murmu, or whether it is a fisherman's son who becomes the greatest scientist, Abdul Kalam, time management was handled by them very professionally, very neatly, in alignment to the goals what they had, so they became what they became because of these. So let us try to understand, you and me, talking about Kristu Jayanti students, you are already in a place where you call yourself a BBA pursuing student, you are already in a better place. When I ask you, where was your starting point? I was good in time management, but where was my starting point? Was I better than any of these three? Definitely yes. Who's sitting here is a chaiwala that your parents could not afford enough money, so they pushed you to go and work for somebody? No, none of you. Who is here at least from a remote village where electricity is not there? I'm not asking how many of you here are from the forest. So, if I am asking you this question, how many of you here actually did your basic beginning of your journey from the time you were born till 5, 6, 7, 8 years in jungle? None of you would say, I am one of them. And if I again put one more question, how many of you sitting here would say, is your father a fisherman? Or is your father so poor that if he doesn't go and catch the fish, those days we will have to actually live with hungry stomach? None of us. When we ask ourselves this question, God has already blessed us and put us in a better beginning. Let us understand life like this. Life can be evaluated in a PD terms, that means in personality development, as P, B, C, D. Can all of you repeat 3 times? B, C, D. All of you? B, C, D. One more time. B, C, D. B is the beginning. Your beginning has already happened. You are starting right now as BBA student. Your specialization could be anything. But the beginning of that person was as a chaiwala, beginning of this lady was as a tribal woman, and beginning of this scientist was as a fisherman's son. When I compare your beginning with theirs, you are already in a better place. Your beginning has already happened in a better place. God has lifted you by selecting you and kept in yourself into a better place so that you are very close to the target which was achieved by them. Each and every one of you sitting here, you are much more closer to the target, whatever is in your mind, compared to these 3. Now, the beginning has happened. Beginning is not under your control. It has already happened. But the destination what you want to choose, B, C, D. D stands for destination. The destination what you choose will be under your control. But what destination I want to choose and how will I work towards that destination, that C, what we call it as choices, that choices will be yours. I make right kind of choices. A chaiwala will become a prime minister, or a chaiwala will die as a chaiwala. I make the right kind of choices. A fisherman's son will live as a fisherman and die as a fisherman, like most of his close friends and even half brothers and cousin brothers of Abdul Kalam. They lived their life, they were still fishermen, and they left this life. They lived as a fisherman, they died as a fisherman. And this tribal woman, there are still a lot of tribals who live in the deep forest, never come out of it, and they die there. But if the choices what you make are right, it will push you to this destination. So, what choices you make is going to be today's class in terms of time management. First, let us see the greatest gift what God has given all of us is time in equal quantity. There is no rich who gets more time. There is no poor who is blessed with less time. All of us are given equal time. But what you do in that time is going to decide how you use the choices, is going to decide what destination you are going to choose. Let me tell you, life always doesn't work out of convenience. If you want a life of convenience, you will remain as a chaiwala and die as a chaiwala. You will remain a tribal woman and die as a tribal woman. You will remain a fisherman's son and die as a fisherman's son. Life has to be with conviction. That means, come what may, I am ready to do. So when you live life out of conviction, automatically results will pour around. When you take life out of convenience, results shall not come. Most of you have this inhibition. Let me share a joke so that you will understand it in a better manner. Here was a father He was talking to his son, and it was the day of the result. He was eagerly waiting for his son to come from college, and he wanted to find out what has happened to the results. As soon as he comes, he asks, "Kya hua result?" Immediately what he says, "Papa, वो डॉक्टर अंकल है ना, या डॉक्टर अंकल तो है, वो डॉक्टर अंकल का बेटा है ना, वो फेल हो गया." ओके, डॉक्टर अंकल का बेटा फेल हो गया, वो छोड़ दो, आपका रिजल्ट का क्या हुआ? देन पापा, वो लॉयर आंटी है ना, हाँ मालूम है, वो लॉयर आंटी का बेटी वो भी फेल हो गई। ओके इडियट, आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन देयर रिजल्ट, यू टेल मी व्हाट हैपेंड टू योर रिजल्ट। पापा, हमारा टेनेंट्स है ना, वो इंजीनियर अंकल, यस इंजीनियर अंकल का बेटा भी फेल हो गया। Now father got angry, he took one and he gave one slap and he told, "Arey yaar, I am not asking about any of their results, I want to know, idiot, your result, tell me what happened to your results." He immediately on the top of the voice, all of you do this. You compare yourself with what is available in the surroundings and then decide how successful you can be. And most of the time you make this statement, my success banta because of my neighbors. And there is a beautiful saying we always say, दुश्मन कहाँ है? All of you, what is the answer? दुश्मन कहाँ है? दुश्मन बगल में है. This is the answer. Can you repeat it twice? दुश्मन कहाँ है? 2 times. दुश्मन कहाँ है? What is the answer with you? दुश्मन बगल में है. But let me tell you, दुश्मन बगल में नहीं है, दुश्मन अंदर है. If Modi was successful, it was only because of Modi. If this tribal woman Draupadi Murmu was successful, it is only because of herself. And if this fisherman's son became what he became, it is only because of themselves. They did not complain on the surroundings. Most of the time you think, my father is not an engineer, how can I be an engineer? My father is not a businessman, how can I be a businessman? My father is not an actor, how can I be a superstar? All these are inhibitions that is lying in you, and it is anchoring you and pulling you down. Time management was always like this. 100 meters at the speed of what it was acquired today as a record. Scientifically, according to the science, they told if a human runs at that speed, the heart would burst open. Again, I am telling you, if human could run at that speed, the heart could burst open. Again, I am talking about time management. But once one record was made breaking it, then the entire world looked at it and told it is also possible. And then record after record was made, and the same rule book changed its wordings, telling if a human runs at this speed, no heart would burst. The heart is good enough, it can handle yourself. And we always make this beautiful statement whenever we talk about your own time management. When some kind of a job or an assignment is given to you, there is always this inhibition. You compare it to your neighbor and think if he is going to do it, you are going to do it. That comparison sometimes is a gift, sometimes it is going to be a curse. As beautifully told, we will come back to the story of father and son. He told, "Papa, अगर लॉयर का बेटा फेल हो सकता है, डॉक्टर का बेटा फेल हो सकता है, साइंटिस्ट का बेटा फेल हो सकता है, आप तो एसएसएलसी फेल बाप हो, आपका बेटा कैसे पास हो सकता है?" Immediately father was in a shock. He gave me a call. I told him few lines. आप ये बोल के मारो, इतना जोर से मारो, वो actually अपने आप को बदल दे. He told again, "Come here, I'll tell you." अब्दुल कलाम का पिता फिशरमैन था, वो साइंटिस्ट बन गया ना, एक छापर. एंड आ जाओ इधर, वो चाय वाला प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन गया. His father was not a prime minister, and he was not a born prime minister's son who became a prime minister. He hit him one. And tribal women who lived in the deep forest, when their parents did not know anything, if she can become a president, ask yourself, each and every one of you sitting here, what are you capable of? You are capable of doing so many beautiful things, so many miraculous things, but you don't have a will. Today I am going to teach you this time management, but if you don't have a will, it does not work. There is a beautiful phrase, where there is a will, there is a way. Can you repeat it 3 times? Where there is a will, there is a way. From that side, where there is a will, there is a way. Let me rephrase it. There is always a way. Do you have the will? In the same Kristu Jayanti College or in Christ College, which is also a sister concern, there are students who have completed BBA and they have got a job offer of 3 lakhs per month. They have got 4 lakhs per month. That means sitting in the same premises, in the same lecturer of all these beautiful lecturers, they have actually got that kind of a score. That means there is always a way. Each and every one of you sitting here, you should have, do you have the will? A chai wala prime minister ban sakta hai with proper time management. But ask yourself, do you have that will? There is always a way. Can you repeat it 3 times? There is always a way. Do I have a will? Repeat it again. There is always a way. Do I have the will? If I have the will, automatically the ways will start opening. There is a beautiful saying, because we are talking about time management. Time management is always about, are you willing to do or are you not willing to do? When you are willing to do, you will look for solutions. Your target is, what solutions I have because I want to do this. When you are not willing to do, you will look for excuses. What excuse should I pick for not doing this? Ask yourself, are you sitting with a womb of mind which has a willingness, or are you sitting with a womb of your mind which is having non-willingness? Non-willingness again is a truth in a wrong place. Definitely an engineer's son would be a better engineer because of the environmental influence. That doesn't actually say every engineer's son is going to be an engineer and every farmer's son will not be Narayan Murthy. Who told you? Narayan Murthy, he's become Narayan Murthy and his father is a farmer. So, please don't have inhibition. Ask yourself, are you willing to achieve what you want to achieve? If you're willing to achieve what you want to achieve, ways will automatically open up, solutions will be automatically visible. If Modi was not having that willingness as a chai wala, I want to do enough to the society, I want to do enough to the society, he wouldn't have become what he became. A teacher comes in an exchange program. For better understanding, we will call her by name Mother Teresa. She came in an exchange program and she never thought small. In Calcutta, when she saw the first time pandemic hitting so badly, every patient was thrown out and because of leprosy, and they treated them so inhumanly. Our thought process was, come what may, I want to help every such patient who is being thrown out carelessly. I want to build free hospitals for them. And with this conviction, she goes up and gives a resignation to a principal, because when you have that conviction that I want to run this 100 meters in this time, automatically solutions will be born. And for that, you need faith in him. Yes, time management is required, but you need faith in him that, yes, I can. When she goes up to the principal and she gives a resignation letter, the principal looks at the letter and he says, let me hold on to this letter for some time. You want to start free hospitals. You are talking not in singular, you are talking in plural. And he asks, do you know, ma'am, how much money is required to start a small clinic? I don't think so. You would be having a third pair of clothes, because whatever you have, you give out to the poor. With this condition, you cannot. And the time what you have, you cannot. You may need multiple such regeneration or reincarnation to start what is called as chain of hospitals. That is what Mother Teresa was very confident of. She makes a beautiful statement. Me and God put together, miracles are possible. All of us forget this. Most of the time we are very confident because we forget He is there in you, and that becomes ego, you fall miserably there. And most of the time you forget Him and you develop inferiority complex, again you forget He is there in you. Let me make this statement. There is nothing that you can do without thy will. God is a co-author of your destiny, and He is there to help you in every steps what you take. But ye cannot decide on the choices what you make. A choice that you make, come what may, time is so valuable. From tomorrow I would like to get up. I shall get up at 4 o'clock. I know early in the morning, before the sun rises and after the sun rises, this is called as Brahmi Muhurta. Any person who sits at that time and does the most important job of his life, he can get phenomenal results just with little efforts, because the energy level early in the morning is high. A statement is made. But tomorrow, how many of you will execute the choice? God will not come back. God has given this. Through me, He has told early in the morning, before the sun rises and after the sun rises, let me put it, getting up at 4 o'clock early in the morning, you will get 2 hours of extra time in this 24 hours. It can make your life so easy and comfortable. But are you ready to give up on the pleasure and take up that pain of getting up in the morning? No. Choices has to be yours. He cannot come and make a choice for you. You should make the choice, execute the choice. That choice will lead you to somewhere better. Not executing the choice, that will lead to somewhere else. And let me make this very beautiful statement. It is being written in God's book. There is nothing called as denial. Delay will be there, resistance will be there. Why delay and resistance? God wants to check, or the universe wants to check how much determined you are that you want this. And once He is confirmed that He really wants, He will do whatever miracles possible. He will gift that onto you. There is nothing called as denial. And He is there always with you. Let me share a beautiful story, you will understand. There was this good man who lived a very happy life, helping everybody, always praying, always kind-hearted, always trying to do something good to the society. And he lived a very healthy life till 85, and he dies at the age of 85. So definitely, doors were open, heavens. As his soul was leaving his body and he was just traveling to heaven, he wanted to see his entire walkthrough of his life. When he saw his entire walkthrough of his life, he saw at certain phases of his time, there were 2 footsteps, 2 pair of footsteps, as though 2 people have walked along. And at certain phases of his life, there were only 1 pair of footsteps. He was happy and he knew 2 pair of footsteps means it is me and God walking together. I again tell you, God is a co-author of your destiny. You cannot even wink your eye without His will. And He cannot do anything without you choosing what choice you want to execute. And the choice will determine what destination you will reach. There is a group who has been smoking and they have been pushing me. They are creating such a peer pressure in me that I should also start smoking. A choice is there for me. Should I join that group and start smoking, or should I quit that group and to look for a new group where there are like-minded people who are studying? God will give you these 2 groups in front of you and He will tell, choice is yours. He will not come and make the choice. You shall make a choice. I will choose the people who are actually interested in studies. I would like to join them. That choice will take you somewhere else. I'll choose the group who likes smoking, who likes boozing, and that choice of what you make will take you something else. Again, I am telling you, दुश्मन कहाँ है? बगल में नहीं है, दुश्मन अंदर है. Because you took that decision. They just influenced. Ultimately, you took up the decision. So we say, अपने हाथ पे don't become an enemy to yourself. Can you become a dost to yourself? Can you become a friend to yourself? That choice you will have to execute. Today I am ready to become a friend to myself. It can do miracles. Today I don't want to become a friend to myself. I want to be an enemy to myself. You start pushing him to make negative choices. So life will take you to those choices if you keep on making negative choices. Let us understand the importance of time and then we will continue forward. What is the value of time? How time would like to talk to you? If God has gifted you with time, how does He like to talk to you? It is like time is saying, I am time. I come equally to every one of you. I will not give 1 second more to the rich or 1 second less to the poor. I give time in equal quantity. Time as me, you cannot manage me. But what you do in this time, that can be manageable. That way a beautiful video is there. It's okay. All three videos, one after the other, you can play.
Hello, I am time. I am precious. I am priceless, but I am free. I know no partiality. I am the same to the poor and the rich. I am the same to the young and the old. Some spend me, some use me. Use me and see. I will help you reach your goals, dreams, and ambition. Use me and see. I'll make you healthy and wealthy. I can make you progress and prosper. You can use me only once. You can't recycle me. I fly, never to return. Don't use me next to next and say next time. Because next time you may miss me and see my footprints called too late. Give me as a gift to someone, because I can heal, I can encourage, I can inspire, I can bring joy and happiness. I teach you life lessons so that you may know what really matters. I am yours. It's your time. Don't waste me. Take good care of me today, and I will take good care of you tomorrow. Before I leave,
Next video.
I must say, I am given to you by God. Please give back some time to Him, to pray, to say thank you, and to ask Him to give you wisdom to use it.
So we will continue with the last story. I definitely know the two pair of footsteps is one you and one me, and the single pair of footsteps is me. But God, I have a question. During happy times, when I really don't need you, I am finding that there are two pair of footsteps. But during sorrow time, when I need more of you, why is that you have left me all alone and you have gone? As soon as the soul reaches that, with this question mark, understanding the entire walk of life, God interrupts with a voice and says, my loving son, let me answer your question. You were right, during happy times, the two pair of footsteps is definitely you and me. But in happier times, you were not even ready to hold my hand. We always actually go to God when we are in trouble. Sankata Bandaga Venkataramana. We always try and remember God when we are in deep sorrow, and that moment also it is my responsibility to be with you. So I held your hand and I was coming with you. But during difficult times, let me tell you, my loving son, you did not have enough energy to even walk. And those difficult times, I actually carried you along, and the footsteps, what you see there, it is definitely not yours, it is mine. So God actually has helped you to walk through those beautiful paths in your older difficult times. Maybe 10th standard exam was your difficult times. You thought it will be too difficult to manage the time and see to it you hit the target, but you could actually recollect God helped you to just flow through that. So that is one. Your 12th standard may be a challenging time. During those challenging time also, God came, He just carried you along. In the same manner, right now, your aim is to fix up a target and start taking few baby steps. And see to it that your few baby steps will definitely take you very close to the dream. Because in God's book, there is nothing called as denial. Delay will be there. Resistance will be there. Delay and resistance is to check how seriously you are interested in this. Let us understand what is the value of time. When you lose 1 year, you will realize what is the value of time, academic. you get ready for the next video, pickle jar story. So for the next 45 to 1 hour, we will be speaking on these videos only, so that we will try to introspect and put this into your life. A very important video which talks about what are very important jobs of your life, how will you handle it? How do you give space for most important jobs of your life? How will you give time and space for not so important but okay, a little important jobs of your life? And how will you give importance for not so important part of your life but still it needs to be done? And how will you give time for time wasters in your life or enjoyment or pleasure of your life? So this was beautifully told, and this we call it as a pickle jar story. As the video goes, you will be able to introspect. Now, your question is, you should start thinking in your life right now as a BBA student, what importance and what jobs would you like to call it as golf balls, and what work and what time you would like to give for pebbles, which will be coming up, and what importance and how much of time you want to give it to sand, and what you want to spend for the rest of the things that you need to do, you need not do also. For that we will understand this pickle jar story. Yes, sir.
Empty pickle jar story. This is a lesson of life. A professor stood before his philosophy class holding a large and empty pickle jar. When the class began, he proceeded to fill the jar with golf balls. After filling, he asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed, yes, it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. The pebbles rolled into the open areas between the golf balls. Now the professor asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed, yes, it was. The professor next picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar, trying to fit into those empty spaces between the pebbles. Of course, the sand filled up everything else. Now the professor asked if the jar was full. They responded with an unanimous yes. The professor then produced a bottle of chocolate milk from under the table and he poured it into the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the sand. And now the professor told, this is your life. I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The golf balls are most important things of your life, your family, your children, your health and friends. The pebbles are the second most important things that really matter, like your job, your home, your car. The sand is everything else, the small stuff which can be dedicated. If you put the sand into the jar first, there is no room for pebbles or golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on small stuff, you will never have room for the things that make you happy. Play with your children, get regular checkups, enjoy dinner with friends and family. There will always be a time to clean the house. Take care of the golf balls, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. Your golf ball is your education. And there is always a time for milkshake. The professor responded, telling, this is how you will have to evaluate your life. Remember, every day is a gift, and the quality of your life is your first gift to yourself. Give your life a gift of what should be your priorities in life.
Amazon or Flipkart, not even manufacturing any of the products what they sell, and not even selling any of their own products, just by delivering the product to the customer, today they have made a brand name for themselves. You don't say, I brought a Samsung phone. Instead, where did you buy this phone? Amazon. Where did you buy this laptop? Amazon. No, Flipkart. So here, between the business, there is a manufacturing sector, there is a sales sector, there is a service sector. This needs investment, this needs investment, this needs investment, and there is the delivery sector. Delivery sector was managed and least importance was given to them. Today, the same delivery has become the most gigantic business, and he is making much more money than the manufacturers, than the service industry. In the same manner, when you look at your entire time, can you manage your time smartly? Because every second that you invest costs you money. So can you exponentially make a byproduct out of every time that you invest? That is called as a smart move. So let us try and understand today about I am time. We have already seen. Most of us have this confusion as lecturers, as teachers, as a resource person. Most of the time I feel I am without time. I don't know, somehow I am trying to manage my time. I am not getting time to do anything. My friends, my spouse, son, daughter, for us, for all of you, this subject, that subject, this subject, Pushpa 2 movie, KGF 2 movie. Oh, everything is boiling down because you don't want to miss anything. You want to manage everything, and still you find there is scarcity of time. Most of the time we would have asked ourselves this question. We have come to a conclusion telling, I am very busy. The second job crisis comes before I complete the first job. Before I complete the first subject, the second subject is pouring on to me. I don't feel I have achieved anything this year. I don't have control of my life. Time is going completely mismanaged. Things pile up one after the other, one top of the other. Oh God, I wish I would have had more than 24 hours per day. I would have had 30 hours, 40 hours per day. The system is overloading me. People are overloading me. There is no time to even breathe. Most of us make this statement multiple times. I feel I have too little time given by God. I feel I am overloaded with work. When you look at all this, it very clearly says you need time management. But practically when we ask this question, can time be managed? No, I am not God. I cannot create time nor I can destroy time. Time is as it is. But what I can do in that time, how smartly I can work, that will determine how I can use less time and achieve the same significant results than spending lot of time and achieving the same results. That is what we call smart move. As a BBA students, that is where you will have to work to. Today's next half an hour, we are going to emphasize that we'll understand the importance of time. We have already got that. We'll try to manage our time smartly. How do I do that? And we'll also introspect about our time investment. I've given a gist of it. What are the golf balls in your life? What are all the pebbles in your life? What are all the sands in your life? What is this chocolate milkshake in your life? Accordingly, you start giving priorities, and first preference should be given to golf ball. That is where we will have to introspect and understand how is my time investment skills. Am I investing time in a wrong thing instead of delegating that work to somebody else? It can. But you cannot delegate other works, like exercising is compulsion for me because the doctor has advised I need to walk at least half an hour per day because I am little overweight. I cannot call my Kamwali bhai and say, Kamwali bhai, please आप मैं 100 रुपए देता हूँ आज 1 किलोमीटर मेरे लिए दौड़ के आ जाओ. No, some of the works you will have to do it yourself. We will look at that. How do you improve your time management, thereby enhance your achievement in life? Yes, that is what we are aiming at. We have already seen, to realize the value of 1 year, if an academic student who has not scored the required marks to get an admission for an MBA, he knows how important it was the last 3 years. But there is no coming back and redoing it. There is never a second attempt in all your academics. Second attempt will always be called as a second attempt. First attempt is once and it only comes once. Please don't let it go. The value of 3 years for a graduation student is how you do your first, second and third year of BBA. And when you fail, definitely it is going to be 1 year. You will have to work on that. To realize the value of month, we have already understood when a mother gives either a premature baby or even after the date, if the baby becomes a post-mature, that means the date was today, somehow things are not happening and it has to naturally happen, and that is going to happen only after 15 days or 1 month. There every month becomes so valuable because there is a time for everything and everything shall happen in that time only. A little mismanagement, you cannot handle it. There was a small research done to understand how time management could be. Sadhguru in one of his talks beautifully says, let us understand how the nature is handling the time management. The sun who is rising in any kind of latitude and longitude when you are observing, if it delays even for few seconds or even for few minutes, let us calculate like that. They said 50% of the living things in this entire earth would be no more a living thing. So much of episodes can happen. So there is a time for everything and everything shall happen in that time only. So that logic we will have to understand. We have already told you if a person is caught in any kind of a natural disaster, you will know how it could be to even imagine. There was one such news, if you Google you will find out. This person's name was Hanumantu. This man, during border security, when they are working at the Himalayan borders, a complete mountain of ice falls onto him, and for 1 full week this border security army man was alive until he was picked up and diagnosed, and they thought he has come back and he collapses. So how he would have kept himself alive for that 1 full week with no water, nothing, he could not move his body in that ice cold environment. So ask him what is the importance of time. Sometimes time simply runs away. Your 2 hours, 3 hours will simply run away when you are in no pain at all. But when you are in lot of pain, every second will count like 3 hours for you. How do you handle this time difference and your response to whatever the time that has spent? To realize the value of 1 day, ask the grandmother who is dying of cancer. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask that mother who is waiting for this army son to come back, and the bus gets delayed by 1 hour. So ask the person who actually missed this bus or even a train or even a plane, he would never be able to board the same. He has missed. So ask the person value of 1 second, because most of the time we would have seen accidents just like that happening. You are about to stop, you come back and zoom, one vehicle goes. So please respect time, and when you start respecting time, time will also get aligned to you and it will start working beautifully. Next, in order to understand the value of millisecond, one beautiful example could be P.T. Usha. Most of you are from Kerala. You would know P.T. Usha for the first time lost a bronze medal, not out of many seconds. It was 1, 2, 3 milliseconds. Not seconds, milliseconds. So ask the person who won the silver or who lost the bronze, because she was late by few milliseconds according to the camera. A camera which was capturing like this could only show that she crossed the line or touched the line after 3 milliseconds. That is what we say millisecond. So what is the value of your time? So in simple terms, when I am telling I am taking today's class, time management is straightforwardly defined as management of time. But can we really manage time? No. We are only managing how work is done smartly during those times. So what do we say? You can't manage time because time is as it is. I cannot create it, I cannot distort it, time can never be created or distorted. So time management is a mislabeled. But what can you do? You can manage your activity during this time. That is what is called as smartness. How I manage within this 1 hour. This 1 hour is fixed to every one of you. Few of you can take it casually and feel it as a napping time and take a nap like 1 or 2 hours. Of you will close your eyes or completely slept off. Few of you are very alert with a book and paper, writing down few points, taking down few points, clicking few photos just to get some inputs. That is a move has to be done by you. A chaiwala to Prime Minister is how you have utilized every minute of your entire life so that you make the right choices which push you to where you are. That is what is the basic understanding. But basically, let us understand what actually causes mismanagement of time. Assuming for today, I fix up a timetable for tomorrow that 4 o'clock I would be getting up, from 4 to 5:30 I would be doing this kind of studies, and from 5:30 to 6 I would be doing walking, and from 6 to 6:45 a revision of this particular book, and 8 o'clock I'll go for bath and then breakfast, and then I'll come to college. I made some arrangement. But what is happening, the greatest hurdle of time management is when a plan is already made and the 4 o'clock when an alarm rings, do you go and exactly start your day at that particular time? We don't. Assuming today one of the difficult chapter was done by one of your lecturer and she knew it is little difficult for you to grasp, so she says, as it has 10 marks for the final exam, you are being advised to do a small assignment of creating the record and also writing the entire note twice and submitting it. Now what has happened? You should go today only, start preparing, because the teacher has explained today, your memory is able to recollect lot of things. Go home today, prepare for the notes and write not twice. You should make an habit of, if it is going to help me, let me write it more number of times. You should write it 4 times, because your target is not 1 lakh or 50,000 salary per month after your BBA. Your target is 4 lakh per month. You should be smart. So what I do, I will write it 4 times. That way when you do, time mismanagement will never happen. But do you go in the evening and start? No. What really happens, you do what is called as procrastination. That means the first problem what happened was starting trouble. All of you wanted to start a particular thing and the time was fixed. Today evening, as soon as I go from college, I'll finish off the assignment, because the teacher has told, do it today so that you can recollect whatever I have told, and it will help you. If you try to push it tomorrow, you will not be able to recollect whatever I have spoken. So that way, when an assignment is given to you, you want to go and start. When you are about to start, something deep inside says, instead of today, let me do it tomorrow. And that early morning 4 o'clock when the alarm rings, instead of 4 o'clock, I'm not saying I'm not going to get up. Instead of 4 o'clock, I'll get up at 5. So you turn the alarm to 5 o'clock. Or you snooze the alarm. By snoozing the alarm, what did you do? You did what is called as procrastination. You procrastinated. You postponed it. Where will time mismanagement happen? When you start a particular work as per your decided time, there won't be any problem, any hurdle at all. Everything will go smooth. Time gets neatly managed. Most of the colleges are able to manage even such huge syllabus so perfectly. Why? Because they have a plan and they exactly organize themselves according to the plan. There is an opening day of every semester, there is a closing day of every semester, which is pre-announced. There is lessons which is pre-announced, and there is completion time of every lessons which is pre-announced. There is a timetable created. There is no such timetable in which one period is allotted to 2 people. Never ever in any college it has happened, because they follow a discipline and everything happens smoothly. But in your case, when you have a choice, if the college is doing everything, there is a time for everything in its time. Let me acknowledge it and start working. There is a time to complete whatever is done in the college, and I shall complete it on that time only. But most of the time we don't do. We get into starting trouble. We procrastinate. We don't say we are not going to do it. I will do it, but instead of today, I will do it tomorrow. I will get up at 4 o'clock. Instead of 4 o'clock, I will get up at 5 o'clock. What did you do? You procrastinated. After procrastination, you fixed up a new starting time. You were supposed to do the assignment today, you told tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, will you do the assignment? Because ma'am had told Saturday I will check. Today was Saturday, ma'am told Saturday I will check. You again create one more starting time saying tomorrow I will do. You create a starting time. When that starting time comes, you get into some kind of a trouble. You procrastinate. Again, create a starting time. You get into some kind of a trouble and you procrastinate. What is happening? You are living in a problem cycle. You are living in this problem. You are not able to start, not able to start, not able to start. 5 o'clock the alarm rings, you are not going to get up. Finally at 6 o'clock you get up. Is your time can be managed neatly? No. You have already lost 2 hours. Whatever was given to this, that is lost. Now whatever has to be completed here, you will pick it up here, you will pick it up here, you will pick it up here. Your entire day goes mismanaged. That is not smart working. Now, what was the purpose your teacher gave you an assignment? The lecturer gave you an assignment because she felt if you go and do the assignment, it will help you to do better in academics. A better performance in academics will definitely get you a better job. But what did you do? You procrastinated. Every time you saw your lecturer, you remembered, oh, I did not do that assignment. I should have done. And when you keep on procrastinating, finally on Friday night, you do it. But the objective has changed. If you would have done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or even on Sunday when the assignment was given on Saturday, the objective was, I will try and understand this subject, I will master the subject so that it will help me in the exam. But when you do it on Friday evening, your objective is, I am only going to do so that tomorrow the teacher should not scold me. When the objective is lost, the entire time is lost. And the purpose is lost. You will have to again relearn and redo. These are called as hurdles of time management. And will you be comfortable? No. If today's work is not completed today and you push it to tomorrow and tomorrow you again push it to tomorrow, and because tomorrow is not working, you push it to next Monday, and next Monday when you seriously wanted to study, you push it to next Monday, you're playing a dirty game with time. And every time you procrastinate, you're taking bigger trouble onto your head, because first day if you would have completed all the lessons, you would have been free for the second day. Now what has happened? First day's baggage, second day's baggage, when it is pushed to Monday, then again from last Monday to Saturday's baggage, 1 week's baggage becomes 2 weeks' baggage, and you say Monday is not working. I will do like this. Seriously, from next month first now, I'll start studying. Most of you push to next month first. What is happening? You are playing a very dirty game with time, telling, I will do it later. When you have the present time, you don't execute, you procrastinate, you postpone, and you start living with the problem. Next month first comes, whatever is required, I'll study. Serious study, I'll do it next month. Next month is not working. You feel guilty. You feel stressed because so much to study. Then what you do? January 1st, I will seriously start studying. Most of you, Deepavali, I will start studying. Christmas, I will start studying. And finally, the exam is 1 month down the line. Your time has been so much mismanaged. You wanted a percentage better than what you had acquired in second PUC. That will automatically drop because the time was not followed. And what exactly is stress? Stress is always about time mismanagement. Stress is nothing but the gap between when it should have been done and ultimately when did you do it. If today the assignment was given and if you would have completed today only, there wouldn't be any stress at all. You would be completely free to handle new things. But instead you kept on procrastinating. So this living with the problem will lead to what is called as stress, and the entire stress in life is because you postponed it and finally did the gap between when it should have been done and ultimately when it was done. See, this time mismanagement will be sometimes so horribly going wrong that you will never be able to handle it. Let me tell you a true story of one of my aunt. My aunt was a vice principal of a reputed college. She was a gold medalist, that was the reason she became a principal of that college. I don't want to take the college name because she was very close to me and our son was of my age. We were born and during school and college days we were together. I'm talking about time mismanagement. There is a time for everything and that has to be done in that time only. When it is not done in that time, disasters are going to happen and it will become an irreparable, non-reversible actions will be performed and you will have to pay miserably. When life slaps you for mismanagement of time, there is no returning back. It so happened when the son got engaged, it was an happier time for us, and as the son got married and they were expecting a child in another 3 months' time. During that time, because the cancer happened in this month only and there was a cancer day celebration which I also happened to see a very big banner in this college, my aunt started developing a small pimple in her breast. She casually thought it could be one such wound, and now because she's expecting a baby in another 3 months, that means grandson or a granddaughter, she got into starting trouble. She told, I'm not saying I'm not going to go for a checkup. I will go for a checkup. But instead of now, let my daughter-in-law come back. Let my grandson or granddaughter, whoever is coming, let me welcome them home and then I will go to a checkup. She just postponed it for 3 months. And slowly the pimple became bigger and bigger. It was difficult for her to manage, but she had already decided, come what may, until they come back I will not. She was living in this problem every day, postponing, procrastinating, creating a new starting time, not starting there, and then procrastinating. She was living in this problem. When she was living in this problem, it created a huge amount of stress. We could see it, but she was not ready to tell. We used to ask, Aunt, what's wrong with you? You seem not to be healthy, because everything was looking healthy outside. What was happening inside, none of us knew. And when the grandson and it was granddaughter who came for her, that was a celebration moment and the pain was also high, and they had decided, let us have that first month pre-naming ceremony. Why? You always look for reasons for procrastinating. She decided, instead of now, I'm not saying I will not go, I will definitely go, but I will go after 1 month. Ask yourself if any of your parents are also facing the same. If any of you are also facing this time mismanagement, that too with health, it becomes irreparable, irreversible, and you will have to pay with your life. At that moment, she decided, no, let that first function happen. After that, I'll be free. She will go back to her mother's house and I will be completely free. I'll get everything checked up. I'll get things done. Because she also anticipated it could be cancer. Because she was a principal, very smart girl, lady. At that moment, when the function was happening, the pre-naming ceremony, she was stuck with those very heavy silk sarees. All of a sudden, because she could not hold that pain any longer, she collapsed. At that moment, we rushed her to the hospital. Rushing her to the hospital, the doctor immediately who looked at it, it said, it seems to be cancer, take her to the cancer hospital. And when we took her to the cancer hospital, we had a common friend, because our own batchmate was a cancer specialist. As soon as she saw the wound, she scolded her such bad words. I have never seen girls using such bad words. Because she told, do you know what has happened? You're already crossed stage 4, you're in stage 5. You will not live even if we want you to live. You don't have days. You may be having few hours. How could you do this? You are such a learned lady. And within 2-3 days, we lost our aunt. In your life, within 2-3 months, you may lose the first semester. Within 2-3 months, you may lose the second semester. Within 2-3 months, you may lose the third semester, 4th semester, 5th semester, and 6th semester also will pass. You will be one more such student who has completed BBA, because there are so many lakhs of students who complete BBA. And you shall be one such student who has completed BBA. You don't have that time management skills of what conviction the chaiwala had who became a prime minister, the tribal woman had who wanted to become that president, that she is a president, and that fisherman's son who wanted to become an astronaut. Why? Time that is given to you equal quantity should not be devastated using starting trouble, procrastination, living with the problem and ultimately getting into stress. And stress leads to giving up attitude. At one point of time when I spoke to my aunt, she told, by the symptoms what I had, I knew I was in stage 4 because my dear friends, to move from stage 1 to stage 4, it won't take years. Few weeks is enough to move from one stage to another. In your life also, from one semester which you are not prepared to go to next semester, it is few months. If you don't dedicate yourself using all that time that you have in you and then use it for one focus, that is your academic marks, your life skills that can get you the best job, you are doing a blunder to yourself. As we say, this time of your entire age is called as sacred and golden time of your entire living. You can call it as Brahmi Muhurta of your entire age. You are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. These are called as the most sacred years of your life. This has to be utilized in a positive note. Only then you could do miracles. So, saying all this, okay sir, I don't want to get into all this. What is the solution? You should not get into starting trouble attitude. We will try to manage that. I know that will lead to procrastination. We will try to manage that. That will lead to actually living with the problem. We will try to manage that. And that will automatically create stress. And what is stress? Stress is nothing but the time gap between when it should have been done and ultimately when it was done. If I can bring this together and exactly on that particular time, if I start executing, you will see there will be a phenomenal difference in the way you lead your life. So what you will have to bring the gap of your exactly when you wanted to start and when you started as close as possible, as close as possible, as close as possible, and one fine day it should get aligned. Or else you will be cursing yourself for your lifetime and you will become that person who is always a time or work procrastinator. You are playing a dirty game with your work. Let me share this beautifully, a little sarcastic, but it will always remain in your memory because attitude of time management doesn't care where you shape them. Ultimately, it is going to shape your life. All of you know, you are so confident about yourself that you know you are going to sleep and you are going to wake up. So what you do, you fix an alarm, maybe 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and you go to sleep. Or your mother is your alarm, you tell your mom, please wake me up at 4 o'clock, I have a lot of work to do. Today I want to be a disciplined boy. That means for tomorrow you are planning. And you tell your mom, wake me up at 4 o'clock and you go to sleep. Bichara alarm will start ringing at 4 o'clock. You set the alarm. When it rings, you should get up, na? You go on snooze. If at all the alarm would have had life, you would have gone to the kitchen, picked up that mutton chopping knife, brought it, and it would have checked where is your atta and you would have poked it. You fixed the alarm and you only snooze it. Okay, your mom is calling. My loving son, you wanted to get up at 4 o'clock, it's already 4 o'clock, why don't you get up? And immediately what do you say? Mama, give me one more hour's time, Mama. Definitely 5 o'clock I will get up. A voice comes and Mama says, okay, I'll wake you up at 5 o'clock. And the snooze button says, okay, I will wake you up after whatever the snooze time you would have kept. And again at 5 o'clock, mom is calling, my loving son, it's 5 o'clock, will you get up? Mama, fine, it's okay. 6 o'clock, 100% I'll get up. Keep the geyser on, keep the breakfast ready, and immediately get up and I will start my day. Then Mama again calls at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and she says, my loving son, it's time you get up, you already snoozed 3 times. He shouts, Mama, give me 2-3 reasons, why should I go? Why 6 o'clock also? Why not 7 o'clock? Mama gets angry and she comes and his son is sleeping in the first floor. She's actually making the chapati. A little old lady making the chapati. She takes the chapati maker and says, I will teach you and I will tell you why you will have to go. And she climbs the stairs and she comes, a big man is sleeping there. Son only. She wraps up and says, "Idiot, my son, you are asking two reasons why you should go. Reason number one, you will have to assemble much before everybody else. Reason number two, they will not start the prayers also without your presence because you are not a kid anymore, my son. You are the principal of that particular school. You need to be at least by 6 o'clock. Attitude does not care. Time management does not care how you shape them. Ultimately, it will shape your life. Most of your time is management. Why? Because you don't respect it as so. In my 30 years, whenever there is a PD sessions, never I have been late because I have convinced myself, come what may, I shall be on time and he is helping me. But there are a lot of people who may not be on time to everything. That may become your attitude. I have 3 friends. When I need to invite them, I look at their time management skills and then I invite. For you also, responsibilities will be given based on how you manage your time. If it is my son's birthday, the cake cutting is at 6 o'clock, I call one Ram because Ram is disciplined. 6 means dot at 6 he will be there. So no problem at all. One of you is Ram. The principal knows or your HOD knows. If I tell him seminar has to start at 9, he will exactly make the arrangements and make it start at 9. I think it's right to have Ram here. So I call Ram and say, Ram, it's my son's birthday. 6 o'clock is a cake cutting ceremony. Nothing should be told. He will manage everything. 5-10 minutes earlier he will come. Everything is done. And there is one more, Lakshman. Lakshman, if I call him at 5, he will come by 4 only. And unnecessarily keep disturbing everybody. Time doesn't mean that you have all the time and for every function you go half an hour early, 1 hour early, 1 hour early. Your waiting time in your entire life would have got invested and it would have become wasted. So for him, what I say, if the cake cutting at 6 o'clock, I'll say, we are cutting the cake at 7. Because I know if it is at 7, he will come by 6 and on time the cake cutting will happen. Now Ravan is there, one more best friend. Every time he is late. There are few of you students. If I say 4 o'clock, I know they will not come at 4. So let us say it is at 3 o'clock, so that at least by 4 they will have to come. And few of you are the Ravan, and I call Ravan and say, Ravan, the cake cutting is at 5 o'clock. So please be there by 5. And when I say 5, he will come at 6, and exactly the cake cutting will happen. Ask yourself, not this question, ask your teachers and friends, what am I? When I commit something, am I a Ram there? Am I a Lakshman there? Am I a Ravan there? The question has to be asked, how you manage time. So we have already seen, because of the constraint of time, not too many. So there is always this beautiful understanding. There is a time for everything and everything has to be done in that time only. Can you repeat it loudly? There is a time for everything. Repeat this line. There is a time for everything and everything in its time only. This discipline has to be very seriously put into your subconscious state so that there cannot be a time mismanagement. If you give a word, sir, I shall do it by 10, you must do it by 10. If you borrow a book and say, I will return it by a week, it should be returned by a week or even 1 day early. That would be beautiful. That is called as time discipline. Otherwise, what do people call? He is very time indiscipline. What do I mean by that? He has taken you the book, na? For him, 1 week means it is not 1 week. 1 week means it is 2-3 weeks. For few of them, 1 month is 2-3 months. You gave a book because it was your notes and he told, I will definitely return it in 1 or 2 days. Is 1 or 2 days means 1 or 2 weeks. You call him after 3 days. You told you will return within 1 or 2 days. What? 1 or 2 days? Yes, but only 3 days is over now. For me, 1 or 2 days is not 1 or 2 days. It is 1 week or 2 weeks. So this is called as time mismanagement. Now, I will not go to these slides because it will take time. I wanted you to understand how do I evaluate your current time management skills. There is a question which you will have to keep answering and giving some points, 2 points or 1 point, so that you will know at the end how your time management has happened. I'm also going to tell about help you identify and eliminate distractions. We will also help you to effectively manage time. Now, take a few minutes and understand what is your time investment in your entire 24 hours. Those who are very serious about making a big difference in your life, you will have to seriously consider this. Attending class every day, what is the time you spend? If it is working, if you are not working, what is the time? Sleeping hours, personal care, traveling weekend, studying during weekend, eating, watching, cleaning apartment, cleaning your room, exercising, jogging, meditation, attending athletic practice, surfing the net, leisure time, other social activity, prayers and weekly. So when you calculate this, you will have a total number of hours you have invested in everything that you do. Maybe in a week it may come 206.5 hours. But when you look at how many hours is there in a week, this is a weekly, what we call it as a time map. You should create a time map of every minute that you spend on usual things that you do for one full week from Monday to Sunday. And then calculate what is the total investment of hours in all these works which are mandatory to be done. If it is 206 hours, but the available number of hours is only 168. So, wherever 168 hours is available, I have a scarcity of the 38 hours. So what happens? Your mind is occupied in trying to do two things simultaneously, which we are not capable of. Human mind cannot do multitasking. I am talking about the conscious mind. But the subconscious mind can do multitasking. In academics, in studying, there is no subconscious activity there. So what you will have to do, whatever the scarcity of 38 hours is there, can I eliminate few things or make few changes so that I will know what was a very important job of this and how much time I am investing there. That means golf balls of your life. Instead of golf balls, here he has called it as rocks. The big rocks of your life. That is a small calculation that you will have to make. Add up all your activity for hours in a week and what is your total. Every work, you can put it into these 4 quadrants. A beautiful way to understand. This is a PD quadrant given for time management for MBA and BBA students. It is there as a part of your lessons also, where you create a tabular column like this. Your first line talks about important, not important. First line important, not important. Whichever is important and urgent, do it immediately. These are golf balls of your life. There are some things which are important but not so urgent, but it needs to be done. Plan to do it. Where urgency is there, when there is a pimple in my, I will have to immediately go. When there is dandruff, I will have to immediately go. I have started developing hair fall, I will have to immediately go. I have started to develop some kind of a, I don't know whether it is heart problem or I keep getting regular stomach aches. Don't underestimate. It is crisis, it is deadline based, it is a pressing issue, do it. These are called as golf ball of your life. My aunt hesitated this biggest golf ball and today she paid with her life. You will also put lot of not so relevant into this place and you will also lose out your 3 years of your BBA with not so efficient marks. So a question arises, how smartly I will start using. And that is not important, but it is necessity. Why? Urgent bhi hai, necessity bhi hai. Light bill has to be paid. But if you don't pay light bill, koi mar jayega nahi. But light bill that has to be paid, can it be dedicated to somebody else? That is what we say. This is also interruption. This is also an activity. But put those which you can delegate it to somebody else. When it is delegated to somebody else, you can focus on the golf balls of your life. So this is called as delegated works, but also urgent and not so important. And one more is there, TV, time wasters or social media. These are those kind of activities which If you do or if you don't do, it will not make a difference. If few of you or all of you wouldn't have watched either the Kannada Big Boss or the Hindi Big Boss, no disaster would have happened in your life. Your life would have been as it is. Few of you, if you wouldn't have actually attended your cousin's marriage, she wouldn't have actually given up on that person, only telling, if this cousin of mine who studies in Kristu Jayanti College, if she doesn't come to this marriage, Mama, I'm telling you, I will not marry this guy. Nobody will put this condition. You go or you don't go, they will do what needs to be done. You are only a constraint there. Put all these into, drop it. That way what happens, that time difference whatever was there, you will be able to accommodate it. So this is what I told, activities. Instead of golf balls, rocks are nothing but golf balls. Pebbles are again the second quadrant. This is called as sand. This is called as water. अगर कुछ really Facebook देखना है, on the way from office, anyway I am doing nothing now, I will watch. Other than that, your way you can't do this, you can always do this. So that kind of an intelligent way of putting yourself is important. This is where we play. What are rocks? What are pebbles? What are sand? What is water? Rocks are what I told about those golf balls. Pebbles, sand and water. Please get into this kind of an understanding. This is what we gave you, making a comparison. This quadrant is called as rocks. This quadrant is called as pebbles. This quadrant sand and this quadrant water. Know this beautiful way of channelizing and doing it in the same. Identify time wasters and time investors. First, write down all your jobs. It's an activity that we do. We ask people to write down. When I do it for corporates, the way they receive and the way they actually accept, there will be such a pleasant kind of an environment that it would be mind-blowing. I have loaded few videos. I have taken sessions for ISRO junior scientists. The way receptive they are, because there is a Chalukya in it. There is a Chandragupta in it. And any teacher comes, they see a Chanakya in it. Few of you are not Chandragupta. Where will you see Chanakya? Definitely not. When you are not aligned properly, the frequency of receiving automatically would be with the disturbance. These are few things what I would request all of you to do. And in most of this, God plays a beautiful trick. Your time and pain is associated together. Where there is initial pain, there is always a permanent pleasure that is awaiting. Where there is initial pleasure, there is a permanent pain that is awaiting. So, every time you make the choice, I told you B is the beginning, C is the choice, D is the destination. Your destination could be 95%. To reach this destination 95%, every time, I am using that word time, when you will have to make a choice, ask yourself, right now what emotions I am associated, because every time a choice is given, a choice comes with two emotions. One is pleasurable emotion, one more is painful emotions. Getting up early in the morning, painful emotions, but I push myself and get up even in the pain over a period of 6 months, and when I see my semester results, I will have a permanent happiness for lifetime. So, this trick has to be understood. Whatever is initially painful will give you later on permanent pleasure. Whatever is initially pleasurable will give you later on a permanent pain. So, by choice, you guys will have to choose pleasure. No, choose pain so that you get permanent pleasure. So, one more smart way of working is always very, very important. Abraham Lincoln very beautifully told, if I need to cut a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. In the same manner, whatever work that you are doing, whatever time in that, whatever work you are doing, it is very important that you sharpen your axe. Otherwise, what happens? Your results and your performance will day by day come down. Maybe few things you are not doing right, get a small check done by your lecturers with your seniors so that they will tell whether you are doing it in a smart, sharper way or a not so smart, blunt way. You will understand a small story about this. There was this small woodcutter who was from a very remote village. He wanted to earn money, so he was looking for a job. When he was looking for a job, he looked like a bouncer, very heavily built. He keeps moving from one village to another village, and there he finds a timber merchant. The timber merchant looks at him from far and he finds, wow, I wanted a guy like him who can do work faster and quicker. So he calls him and he says, what are you looking for? He said, I am looking for a job. He says, okay, the job is yours, but job is you will have to cut the trees. You have an axe? Yes. But minimum 5 trees you will have to cut. But if you cut 10 trees, you will get double the salary. This gentleman was so enthusiastic. First day he comes and he is able to fell out 15 trees. Why? He was in Josh and the axe was also new, and first day 15. Slowly what happens, he got 3 days salary on the first day. Next day he drops to 10. Next day he's working still more harder, he drops to 5 only, and he was completely exhausted and he was devastated, and he started thinking, what's happening to me? It may look silly. Even in your case also, a particular lesson you are trying to study, it's not working, you have spent nearly 8 hours on that and you are not getting anything out of it. Somewhere something is done not so smartly. You need to go up to your lecturers and ask, where am I going wrong? Go up to your seniors, find out where are you going wrong. And slowly when you find this out, you will automatically find a solution. He is frustrated, and as he is sitting, he goes up to the timber merchant and he says, sir, I want to give up this job. Why? So from morning, without taking a break, I have been continuously reading this lesson. I have been continuously trying to fell out this tree, but it's not happening. First day I did 15, sir. Now it has dropped to only 4. The woodcutter is in a very confused state. Most of us will be in such confused state. All great people who have become very, very successful, they sometime or the other will be in a confused state. When you are in a confused state, try to take clarity. Otherwise, the entire time that you have invested on that will go in a wrong direction. And your result, instead of being something, it becomes something else. This timber merchant looks at the woodcutter and says, no, you are doing very good, but you are not working smarter. Instead of actually spending 8 hours cutting the tree, smartly only spend 2 hours for cutting the trees and 8 hours for sharpening. That is what he told. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening the axe. That was what Abraham Lincoln told. I am talking about time management. Let me explain you one of the biggest blunder of how you prepare for the exam is done by all of you. You are not actually working little smarter. So going to that, what I mean by smart working is, all of you want to score highest marks in your exam. But most of you don't know what your capabilities are. What each and every one of your capabilities are. If your capabilities are aligned with time, you can get miraculous results. If your capabilities are off with time, you will not get results. You may be there, that's all. I am a bowler, but I am not a trained bowler. I have been gifted so many hours of bowling. Results will be 0 only. Why? That is not my capabilities. But I am a batsman. If they ask me to be a batsman, I can become a phenomenal batsman. That is how you choose your profession, and whatever time you invest on that profession, because of the skill sets of this profession, you will start growing simultaneously, and over a period of time, a Tendulkar becomes a god of cricket. And even a Maninder Singh becomes a god of bowler, because their verticals are different. You should also ask yourself, what is your learning style? Most of us actually do the reverse. Most of us, either we will be a student of visuals. That means what we do, when I see a formula, when I see a point, when I listen to the lecturer, I grasp it and I do things. These are called as visual people. Time management is smart study in order to save time. But instead, you are a visual guy. If you start leading loudly to yourself, it will not make any difference. It will simply bore you and it will confuse you. You should never do that. Know what are your strengths, know what are your weaknesses, work on your strengths to make it more powerful. If you can change the weaknesses, change. Some places you cannot change the weaknesses. Investing time on that will not do anything. This dark man who wanted to be a great actor, he did not invest time because everybody told your looks will never give you any role. If you think your looks can make a difference and you will get a role, please forget it. He had a very huge head, he had a body, not so tall, not so short. He never had a 9 or 10 pack. That big head had small eyes. From top to bottom, he looked very dark. Nothing in his appearance made us believe that he could be an actor. Forget about being a superstar. Now, he had one skill set which was very good in him. That was his style. He could toss a cigarette and then he could actually take it into his mouth. He could toss a matchstick and he could light it. He could actually use his goggles such crazily that his style was a statement which people could not actually forget. And he consistently kept on investing time on that. And he made it better and better. And that gave him a chance and a role in one of the character, which was for 5 to 10 minutes in one of the movie. And there was no looking back. Though his other things did not matter. And he did not invest his time changing his color. No Fair and Lovely or lactocalamides were poured, or no Michael Jackson's skin transplant was tried, because he knew all this will not work. So you as a BBA student, identify what are your strengths and start investing time in that strengths to make it better. When we say dog's tail will always be, don't try to invest time there. Ask yourself, am I investing in the right place? When the time is invested in the right place, miracles will happen. That is where we say, can we audio this audio? Auditory guy is those who listen and they can understand. Their auditory is very strong, audio is very strong. They will have to read loudly, they will have to understand. And the last set of people is kinesthetic people. Though they are slow. Because we are talking about time management. Time management doesn't mean that all slow people will never prosper. I can tell you n number of such slow people who have done very big in life. So even if they are kinesthetic, nothing, you can write, feel the experiments and learn. It will still help you to become successful. So whether it is visual, auditory or kinesthetic, the choice is what you would like to take. If you are a visual, follow that. If you are a auditory, follow that. If you are kinesthetic, follow this. And even if you are a slow learner, please don't worry, because you can do miracles. You can save a lot of time and do miracles. Let me talk about, because we are talking about slow learner. Even if you are a slow learner, miracles are possible by you. It was a story. Just to tell you, if you are confident about I can use this time consistently, not wasting any time, going one step ahead, still I can achieve miracles. This is the story of that boy. Time actually mismanaged in his life. Time was actually mismanaged, which was not under his control. Most of you and me, when we look at our childhood, by age of 4.5 years, we were able to speak, we were able to have a speech. But this boy, Thomas Alva Edison, he was not able to even utter few sounds. Why? God had deprived that from him. He was a very slow learner. He was born little handicapped. So it used to go very slow for him. It was not his time. God did not give him that time. And by the age of 4.5 or 5 years or 6 years, when you and me, we could speak, he was not able to speak. His mother wanted an admission in the school. Though she goes after 2 years, instead of 5 years, she takes him at the age of 7 years. And the school says, we really can't take him because he needs to speak in order to be a part of this class. The principal says, you come definitely after 1 or 2 years, I will consider. Mother patiently waits for Thomas to improve a little. He was able to utter a few words here and there. And after 2 years, the mother takes him to the college and then to the school. The principal again asks him few questions when he was not able to speak, when he was not able to identify few things. He understood he's a special child. God has created a time management in his life. What you can do at some age, he was able to do at that age, and what you could grasp in 10 minutes, that guy needed more than a day to understand the same concept. Time management was a curse for him in his life. At the age of 8, when he goes to the so-called the first class, principal just accepted telling, because I have sent him no multiple times, please let him come. But he tells his mother, madam, we are going to seriously try. But after 1 month, we will tell you whether we can really accommodate him for the complete academic year or we need to send him back. Thomas was very happy. He wanted to go to school, and first day wearing all the uniform, he comes to school. But he was devastated on the first day only, because whatever his own classmates who are of much younger age than him, at least by 2-3 years, they were able to grasp things so quickly, so perfectly, and time was working for them, and for him it was not. He was totally confused. He came back home on that day and he told, Mama, somehow I feel I'm not getting it as quickly, as fast as they will get. For me, why it is taking time, Mama? Then it's okay. If it takes time also, everything is achievable. After a week, every teacher goes up to the principal and complains, your son is a slow learner. Time is not actually constant in him. It is going very slow. So, he has to be put into a special school. This was the advice given to the principal. The principal helplessly wanted to inform Thomas and their mother, so he calls for Thomas. Thomas comes and he says, Thomas, you need not come to school from tomorrow. Thomas starts crying. Now he cannot share anything else. He asks Thomas, where is your mother? Will she come to pick you up? No, my mother goes to work. She comes only in the evening. Okay, we will wait till evening. Then he decides, no, I'll write a letter and give it to you. I have written in the letter everything. From tomorrow you need not come to school. Thomas says, no, principal sir, I want to come to school. I like to attend these classes. Thomas, you are not able to understand why I am asking you not to come to the school. It is written in this letter. Go, share it with your mom. Your mom will read it. I know you cannot read it. He is crying and he comes back home, and his mother returns at 5 o'clock in the evening. He's waiting for his mother to come. As soon as his mother comes with his uniform, he goes, he hugs his mother and starts crying, and he says, the principal told this and he has given me this letter. Mom, read this letter for me. I want to know what it is written. Mother looks at the letter and she is devastated. She is completely confused. She is with tears. She is not able to say anything. But she knew that her son is watching him. She wipes her tears. She puts a lot of confidence and she says, I used to tell you are genius. You are not made to go to schools like this. You need to be sent to a special school, and I should only teach. That is what your principal also has written. Mama, read it. She could read English. English was their mother tongue. So she starts reading to Thomas Alva Edison. To the parents of Thomas Alva Edison. Your son is a genius. A genius student like him should not be put into normal students like what we have in our school. He should be sent to certain special schools which only handle genius students. Or you should personally teach him as he is very genius. We wish him all the best. Thank you. And the letter ends. This boy, though time had made him actually behave something else. Ask each and every one of you sitting here, how many of you have this kind of a problem? None of you. You are already gifted. And this boy is so confident, he tells his mom, Mama, I knew, in the class also I knew I was different. All others were different, I was different. I did not know. That is geniusness. And I want to remain as genius, I don't want to go to school. And mother creates a small place for him to do experiments. He keeps on doing experiments and learning, experiments and learning, experiments and learning. It is always not important at one point of time how much time you spent on one particular event and forgotten that. What is important is consistently how much amount of time I can spend on one vertical, and that is what Thomas Alva did. Day in, day out, do the experiments and learn, do the experiments and learn, do the experiments and learn. By the age of 20, 25, he had already done multiple inventions. They were well off, not so rich. And today we have 1,500 inventions of Thomas. Today the computer industry is being enjoyed. It was only because of that bulb. A switch on of the bulb is called as 1. A switch off of the bulb is called as 0. Our computer, artificial intelligence, chat GPT, machine learning, everything has evolved from the 0 and 1 gifted by that slow learner who was thrown out of the school. And today every school cannot even resist working there without his invention even for a second. Today internet is off. Computers are off of this college. This college only becomes off because without that you cannot survive. He created an entity which will be a part of everybody's life. And it so happened because they wanted to go to a bigger place, they decided, let us take a new place, I need more space for experiment. He actually takes up a big building, and at the ground floor again his lab is going to be set up. As they are moving things, he finds a trunk. That was his favorite trunk, where he had kept all those belongings of his into that trunk. His first uniform, whatever the little toys that he played, everything was there. He was very fond of that trunk, but his mother had hidden that trunk for more than 25 years. Sorry, for more than 20 years. Now looking at the trunk, he is so happy. He opens the trunk and he sees all his uniform, and as he opens all his school uniform which he had worn only for 15 days, he finds there was this letter. On that letter, there was a cover where her mother had written, "My genius son, Thomas Alva Edison." Mother had hidden that trunk from the eyes of his son because mother knew at that time he could not read the letter. Mother knew after a few years he could read the letter. I don't want my son to read that letter. For that reason, it was kept secret. And when they were shifting, he accidentally found that. He opened the letter. As he was reading this letter, he was completely confused. He shouted on the top of his voice, "Mama, where are you?" And Mama comes running. Mama looks at him. "You finally found the letter." "Mama, don't worry. Now you have made a Thomas Alva Edison out of me. I can read the letter as it is, and still my Thomas Alva Edison will remain with me. It will never change. But Mama, thank you for reading that letter and making a Thomas Alva Edison." Because the letter actually read like this. Everywhere where genius was written, it was written mentally retarded son, slow learner. The letter was actually like this to the parent of Thomas Alva Edison. Your son is a slow learner. A slow learner who cannot cope up with normal students like what we have in our college need to be sent to a school which handles slow learners, not which handles genius. So, or you should teach your own son because he is a genius. No, because he is a slow learner. I don't know how his life can be, but we wish him all the best. Yours lovingly, the principal. Right now, you have given me an opportunity to read this letter for you, that whatever semesters you are. I've read the letter, I've given you some points. Most of it you already know, your teachers would have given. I wish you all the best. God bless you. Thank you. Love you all so much. If you have any questions, I will take. Otherwise, we'll go for a rhythmic clapping. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Everybody. I'll share the PPT. Lot of things to share. You can always go through it later on. Lot of interesting things were there which I really wanted to share. Multitasking does not mean this. And also some of the important points, 12 most effective time management principles. If time would have permitted, we would have done that. But it's okay. I was happy addressing such a lovely faces, such a smart Kristu Jayanti College, smart future of our India. Thank you. I wish all of you to reach that height.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. This would definitely help all of us to manage our time at least a little bit better than what we did all these days. And I hope we all fill our pickle jars with the most significant way. Now, I would like to call upon Rana to deliver the word of thanks.
It is an absolute honor for me to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks as we conclude this enlightening workshop on time management. First and foremost, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Mallikarjuna K, for sharing his vast knowledge and valuable insights with us today. His expertise in personality development, leadership, and life skills has truly inspired us to change, manage, and time efficiently. I now extend my deepest gratitude to the event coordinator, Dr. Jagdeep Singh and Dr. Shalini for the exceptional effort in planning and organizing the event. Your dedication and meticulous coordination has ensured a seamless and enriching session for all of us. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to Professor Vijay Kumar, sir, for his unwavering support and encouragement. Thank you, sir. I would like to acknowledge the efforts of the organizing team and the media and the tech team and the volunteers who ensure everything ran smoothly. And my Jayantians, thank you for your active participation, enthusiasm and curiosity. Your eagerness to learn and engage in meaningful discussion adds great value to this workshop. Before I conclude, I would like to leave you with a powerful thought. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. R.B. Mackey. Let's take forward the valuable lessons learned today and apply them in our academic, professional, and personal life. Time is our most precious resource. Let's use it wisely. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this wonderful session. Have a great day ahead. Irene.
Thank you all. You all can leave once your attendance is taken by your respective CRs.
Thank you very much.